today I'm here to change the lever on this toilet tank. It's really corroded, and in addition to that, the end that holds the chain that connects to the flapper has corroded, so it won't even flush. So it's an emergency. I've got house guests coming in about an hour, so I need to get this done. Okay, real quick, for anyone who doesn't know how toilets really work, the black seal or flapper at the bottom, when it lifts up, it lets all of the water in the tank into the bowl. So I need to take off the old lever with this arm here and put on a new one. Found this guy at Lowe's or Home Depot, one of them for $9 or $10, Home Depot I think. They come in lots of finishes, lots of different styles, and you can find, of course, a lot more on Amazon. I'll put a link to one in the description below. Almost all of them say one size fits all toilets. The only time you would need a special lever is if you have a high-tech special toilet. So keep that in mind. If you've got some super fancy toilet, you might need the specific lever made for that toilet. Sometimes the rod is bent for it to work with the fittings inside the tank. So you would be able to bend a replacement lever, the rod on the lever, to match that. So there's these little tiny etched away areas where you can snap and bend it, sort of cut it to shape to match. Mine, luckily, is a straight one, so it's going to be pretty straightforward. So I used an adjustable wrench to loosen up this nut back here. So I'm just going to unscrew it until it slides off, and then I'm going to pull the rod out. So that's pretty easy. Now, sometimes you also need to adjust the length. So it looks like I can actually just remove this last bit here. I'm not sure it would actually interfere with anything. Let me see here. Actually, in my case, I don't think I even need to remove it because it's not going to interfere with the movement of the float or anything in here. But I do want to make sure that I connect the chain to the spot where it fits with this old lever. So probably put the chain in this one. So if I wanted to, I could cut away here on that marked line and then remove this part. But I think I'm going to leave it for now and see if it just works without it. So now on the new one, I'm going to unscrew it. Keep trying to do it the wrong way. Slide that off so I can put the rod in. Some things inside of a toilet seem intimidating, but they're actually pretty easy and you can save a lot of money by doing them yourself. A couple weeks ago I recorded a video on how to change the toilet lid with one of these soft close or slow close lids that I love. So I'll put a link to that in the description so you can check it out. So now I'm just going to tighten this up until it's nice and tight. Actually, I can see I have a problem because it is bumping up. So I'm going to cut that off. Okay, this giant bolt cutter is really overkill for this little job, but hey, it's gonna make this super easy. So I'm just gonna line it up with the line that's already in there. Okay, rod back in, nut on. I'm going to tighten it up until it's in a good position. Hold the handle where you want it to be. You don't want to, of course, tighten it up when it's in a weird position, but nice and level. Okay, that's pretty tight. So now you want to connect the chain that connects to the flapper. So the chain should have a little hook like this. This hook would fit through the hole at the top, and then the chain hangs over this loop down here. Let me just show you again. Here is the chain connected to the flapper. If I pull, or if I was to flush, it'll start letting the water out. But you want it just sort of tight. You know, it's not going to be loose like this, because then you'd have to push the flush lever down quite far away before it starts flushing. And you don't want it too tight, because you don't want that flapper being held open and letting water out slowly over time. So I'm going to connect this now. Okay, now I have the chain connected to the rod. As you can see, it's not too loose and not too tight. I can move the rod a little bit without it lifting up the flapper, and it's not so tight that it's holding the flapper open. Sometimes people put it on so tight it just sort of makes a slow leak, and you'll hear that water coming out of the flapper a little bit, which causes big problems and a big water bill, so watch out for that. You want to just be able to kind of shake that around a little bit without it letting water out of the tank. So now everything's connected. There's no interference with this rod, so it matches the old rod. This is nice and tight. And I can flush this toilet now. Give it a test. So the flapper came up, letting all the water out. The chain's not in the way, the rod's not interfering with anything, and the chain did not come unhooked from that hook. So I think it's good to go. And this is a finished project, and you have just saved yourself a $150, $200 house call. So good job, guys.